Welcome, wanderers of the dark and seekers of the unknown, to Whispers on the Asphalt, your go-to channel for spine-tingling tales and haunted histories. Here, we explore the eerie corners of the world where shadows stretch longer than they should and the hum of tires on pavement is often accompanied by whispers from beyond. Today, we embark on a chilling journey along some of the most haunted highways in the Pacific Northwest, a region renowned for its breathtaking landscapes, dense forests, and a rich tapestry of folklore that blurs the line between myth and reality. The Pacific Northwest, with its mist-shrouded mountains, winding coastal roads, and endless stretches of wilderness, has long been a breeding ground for ghostly legends and unexplained phenomena. These highways, carved through rugged terrain and steeped in history, are more than mere conduits for travel. They are corridors of mystery, where the past lingers like fog over a moonlit lake. From spectral hitchhikers to phantom vehicles, from cursed landmarks to blood-soaked stretches of asphalt, these roads hold secrets that defy explanation and challenge the boundaries of belief. In this two-part series, we will peel back the layers of the supernatural, revealing the haunting stories behind the region's most infamous routes. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, prepare to have your curiosity piqued and your courage tested as we delve into the unknown. So buckle up, keep your headlights on, and join us as we navigate the shadowy highways of the Pacific Northwest. Let the journey begin. The sinister veil of New Mexico's shadows. New Mexico, a land where the desert whispers secrets to the wind and ancient adobe walls seem to breathe with stories untold, holds an undeniable allure for those who seek the mysterious and the macabre. Beneath its vast skies painted in hues of ochre and crimson lies a tapestry woven with history, culture, and the supernatural. This is a state where the past refuses to fade quietly into oblivion. Instead, it lingers, clinging to the rugged landscapes, abandoned ruins, and historic landmarks like a ghost unwilling to be forgotten. From the echoes of Native American legends to the remnants of Spanish colonial conquests, from Wild West outlaws to Cold War paranoia, New Mexico's haunted places are as diverse as they are chilling. Each corner of this enigmatic state harbors its own spectral tales, tales that transcend time and reason, inviting us to peer into the abyss of the unknown. Whether it's the mournful cries of lost souls drifting through centuries-old missions, the shadowy figures prowling desolate highways, or the eerie silence of ghost towns frozen in time, New Mexico offers a treasure trove of haunted locales that promise both fascination and fear. These sites are not merely backdrops for spine-tingling stories. They are living entities, imbued with the energy of those who once walked their grounds and now linger invisibly among us. In this episode of our haunted storytelling series, we delve deep into the heart of New Mexico's most haunted places, uncovering the sinister histories and supernatural phenomena that have earned them their reputations. We'll journey through abandoned mineshafts where miners' spirits still toil in eternal darkness, explore sanatoriums where the despair of the sick and dying seeps into every cracked wall, and tiptoe through hotels and inns where guests report encounters that defy explanation. Each location carries its own unique brand of terror, yet all share a common thread: the indelible mark left by human tragedy and the restless spirits it spawns. As we embark on this exploration, prepare to confront the shadows that lurk within New Mexico's haunted places. These are not mere tales of fiction but documented accounts of paranormal activity witnessed by countless individuals, travelers, locals, historians, and paranormal investigators alike. The air here crackles with an otherworldly energy, drawing curious souls closer while warning them to tread lightly. For those brave enough to step into these haunted realms, one question remains: are you ready to face what lies beyond the veil? So gather close, dear reader, or viewer, and let us guide you through the dark corners of New Mexico's haunted legacy. Here, the line between myth and reality blurs, and the past reaches out with icy fingers to remind us that some mysteries are never meant to be solved. Welcome to Episode 4, Most Haunted Places in New Mexico. Let the haunting begin. St. James Hotel, Ghosts of the Old West. Nestled in the quaint town of Cimarron, New Mexico, the St. James Hotel stands as a relic of the Wild West, a place where cowboys, outlaws, and settlers once gathered under its roof, leaving behind not only memories but also a legacy of bloodshed and spectral unrest. Built in 1872, the hotel quickly became a hub of activity during the tumultuous era of frontier expansion. Its wooden saloon floors bore witness to countless shootouts, card games gone awry, and clandestine dealings, earning it a reputation as one of the deadliest hotels in the American West. It is said that over 20 men met violent ends within its walls, their bodies carried out feet first, leaving behind bullet holes still visible in the ceiling beams today. Among the many restless spirits said to haunt the St. James, none is more infamous than that of Henri Lambert, the original owner. A former chef to President Abraham Lincoln, Lambert poured his life savings into building the hotel, hoping to create a sanctuary amidst the chaos of the frontier. Yet his dreams were marred by tragedy when he was murdered inside the establishment in 1900. Guests staying in room 18, the very room where Lambert died, report hearing footsteps pacing back and forth late at night, accompanied by the faint sound of pots and pans clanging together, as though the former chef continues to oversee his domain from beyond the grave. Some claim to see his apparition standing at the foot of their bed, dressed in period attire, before vanishing into thin air. Another prominent figure tied to the hotel's haunted lore is Mary, a prostitute who worked upstairs in the brothel during the late 1800s. Her tragic end came at the hands of a jealous lover, who shot her dead in room 16 after discovering her infidelity. Today, visitors describe feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness upon entering the room, often accompanied by the scent of roses, an homage to Mary's favorite flower. Objects move inexplicably, drawers open and close on their own, and the sound of soft sobbing can sometimes be heard emanating from the bathroom. One particularly chilling account involves a guest who swore they saw a woman in a red dress staring at them through the window, only to realize there was no balcony or ledge outside from which she could stand. The hotel saloon, once a raucous gathering spot for gunslingers and gamblers, remains a hot spot for paranormal activity. Patrons seated at the bar have reported feeling cold drafts despite the warmth of the fire crackling in the hearth. Glasses topple off shelves without cause, and chairs scrape across the floor as if pulled by unseen hands. Some claim to hear disembodied voices whispering cryptic phrases, while others describe seeing shadowy figures reflected in the antique mirrors lining the walls. During one investigation, a paranormal team captured an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recording in which a gruff male voice growled, "Get out!" A chilling reminder of the violence that once plagued the space. Perhaps the most unsettling presence within the St. James belongs to the spirit of a young boy named TJ, believed to have been the son of a stagecoach driver who frequented the hotel. According to legend, TJ fell victim to a runaway wagon near the property and succumbed to his injuries shortly thereafter. His playful energy permeates the hotel's lower levels, particularly the dining area, where staff members often find toys and marbles scattered about, even though no children reside there. Guests recount hearing childish laughter echoing through the halls, followed by the sensation of small hands tugging at their clothing. In one bizarre incident, a family staying at the hotel claimed their toddler began conversing with an invisible playmate, describing him as a boy in old-fashioned clothes who introduced himself as TJ. Overnight stays at the St. James offer brave souls the chance to experience these phenomena firsthand. Many guests awaken to find their belongings rearranged or their bedsheets pulled tight around them, as if tucked in by an unseen caretaker. Others report waking up to the sound of boots stomping down the hallway, only to discover the corridor empty upon investigation. These encounters are so frequent that the hotel now offers ghost tours, allowing curious visitors to explore its darker side under the guidance of knowledgeable staff. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, the St. James Hotel remains a beloved landmark, attracting tourists eager to immerse themselves in the grit and glamour of the Old West. Its blend of history and horror makes it a magnet for thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts alike. As we continue our exploration of New Mexico's most haunted places, few sites rival the sheer magnitude of spectral energy contained within the weathered walls of this iconic establishment. For those willing to test their courage against the unknown, the St. James promises an unforgettable encounter with the ghosts of the past. Fort Stanton, echoes of soldiers and shadows perched on the edge of the Lincoln National Forest in southeastern New Mexico. Fort Stanton stands as a silent sentinel to a bygone era of military might and frontier conflict. Established in 1855, This sprawling complex served as a strategic outpost for the U.S. Army during campaigns against Apache tribes and later functioned as a tuberculosis sanatorium, a civilian conservation corps camp, and even a World War II internment center. While its historical significance is undeniable, Fort Stanton harbors a darker legacy, one steeped in tragedy, disease, and the unquiet spirits of those who suffered within its stone walls. One of the most enduring legends tied to Fort Stanton revolves around the sanatorium years, when the facility housed hundreds of patients afflicted with tuberculosis. Isolated from society and confined to sterile wards, many succumbed to the disease, their lives extinguished prematurely in rooms that reeked of antiseptic and despair. Staff members tasked with caring for the sick often whispered about strange occurrences. Lights flickering without cause, doors slamming shut on their own, and the sound of coughing echoing through empty corridors long after the last patient had passed away. To this day, visitors exploring the abandoned hospital wing report hearing faint wheezing noises and the rhythmic creak of a rocking chair, as if someone is sitting vigil beside a dying loved one. Among the most prominent spirits said to haunt Fort Stanton is that of Dr. John H. Billingsley, a physician who oversaw operations at the sanatorium during its peak years. Known for his dedication to finding a cure for tuberculosis, Billingsley allegedly conducted controversial experiments on terminally ill patients, pushing ethical boundaries in his relentless pursuit of medical breakthroughs. Paranormal investigators claim to have captured his ghostly figure roaming the hospital's upper floors, clutching a leather-bound notebook and muttering incomprehensible phrases under his breath. On several occasions, thermal cameras have detected significant temperature drops in areas associated with his research, suggesting the presence of residual energy linked to his morally ambiguous work. The fort's military past also contributes to its haunted reputation. During the Apache Wars, soldiers stationed at Fort Stanton faced constant threats from hostile forces, leading to numerous skirmishes and casualties. Accounts from veterans speak of fallen comrades returning to the barracks in spectral form, their uniforms torn and faces gaunt, seeking solace among the living. One chilling tale recounts how a group of overnight campers set up tents near the parade grounds only to be awakened by the sound of marching boots and shouted commands. When they ventured outside to investigate, they found nothing but the stillness of the night, save for faint boot prints etched into the dust. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of Fort Stanton's haunting is its connection to the internment camp established during World War II. Used to house German prisoners of war, the facility became a microcosm of global conflict, with tensions simmering beneath the surface. Reports suggest that several inmates attempted escape, meeting violent ends at the hands of guards or perishing in the harsh desert terrain. Their restless spirits are said to wander the perimeter fence, manifesting as shadowy figures illuminated briefly by moonlight before disappearing into the void. Visitors recount feelings of unease near the guard towers, accompanied by the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Modern-day explorers of Fort Stanton describe a palpable atmosphere of dread, especially in the older sections of the compound. Lights dim unexpectedly, electronic devices malfunction, and the acrid smell of gunpowder occasionally wafts through the air, evoking images of battles fought decades ago. One particularly harrowing account comes from a photographer who captured an orb-like anomaly hovering above a rusted cannon in the armory. Upon closer inspection, the image revealed what appeared to be a translucent soldier gripping the weapon, his expression one of grim determination. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, Fort Stanton remains a popular destination for history buffs and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Its crumbling architecture serves as a canvas for the imagination, inviting visitors to peel back the layers of time and confront the ghosts of the past. For those brave enough to spend the night, the opportunity to commune with the spirits of soldiers, doctors, and prisoners offers both terror and fascination. Yet, as each new visitor crosses its threshold, they must decide whether they are prepared to face the echoes of war, disease, and confinement, or risk becoming another chapter in Fort Stanton's haunted chronicle. La Posada de Santa Fe, art meets apparitions tucked away in the heart of Santa Fe, New Mexico. La Posada de Santa Fe is a luxurious retreat that seamlessly blends southwestern charm with modern elegance. Nestled amidst adobe structures and vibrant gardens, this historic inn has welcomed luminaries such as Georgia O'Keeffe, D.H. Lawrence, and Ansel Adams, cementing its status as a cultural landmark. However, beneath its polished facade lies a darker narrative, one steeped in tragedy, artistic passion, and the supernatural. La Posada's haunted reputation stems not only from its storied past but also from the creative energies that continue to resonate within its walls. One of the most prominent figures tied to La Posada's spectral lore is Julian Martinez, a renowned Pueblo painter whose murals adorn several rooms throughout the property. Born in 1885, Martinez gained fame for his intricate depictions of Native American life, capturing both beauty and hardship with equal precision. Tragically, his career was cut short when he died suddenly in room 223 during a visit to the hotel in 1943. Since then, guests staying in the room report encountering Martinez's ghost, often seen sketching furiously on the walls or gazing pensively out of the window. Some describe hearing the faint scratching of charcoal against paper, even though no art supplies are present, while others swear they've felt an unseen hand guiding their own movements as they attempt to draw. Another recurring presence at La Posada belongs to Helen Hardin, a celebrated Native American artist known for her bold, contemporary interpretations of traditional themes. Hardin frequently stayed at the hotel during the 1970s, using its serene atmosphere as inspiration for her work. After her untimely death from cancer in 1984, staff members began noticing peculiar occurrences in the gallery space where her pieces were displayed. Paintings would shift positions overnight, seemingly rearranged by invisible hands, and visitors reported feeling an intense gaze following them as they admired the artwork. One particularly unsettling incident involved a curator who claimed to see Hardin's reflection in a mirror, her expression one of quiet reproach, before vanishing without a trace. The hotel's connection to the arts extends beyond individual artists to encompass the broader creative process itself. Many guests describe experiencing vivid dreams filled with swirling colors and abstract forms after spending the night at La Posada. Some awaken with sketches or ideas fully formed in their minds, attributing these bursts of inspiration to the lingering influence of past residents. Others report hearing ethereal melodies drifting through the halls, reminiscent of ceremonial chants performed by indigenous musicians who once entertained guests during special events. These auditory phenomena are so pervasive that management maintains a playlist of traditional music in public areas, hoping to appease the spirits and provide continuity between eras. Adding to the hotel's haunted allure is the story of Maria Martinez, a potter celebrated for her black-on-black ceramics. Although she never officially stayed at La Posada, her works have been exhibited there multiple times, drawing admirers from around the world. Paranormal investigators conducting overnight sessions in the exhibition hall have captured compelling evidence of her presence, including EVP recordings in which a female voice softly hums tunes associated with Pueblo pottery-making rituals. Thermal imaging cameras reveal cold spots concentrated near display cases housing her pieces, suggesting the persistence of Martinez's creative energy long after her passing. Modern-day visitors to La Posada often recount bizarre experiences that defy logical explanation. Lights flicker unpredictably, especially in galleries showcasing Native American art. Doors slam shut on their own, and the scent of burning sage wafts through the air despite the absence of any ceremonial activities. One guest described waking up to find their reflection in the mirror staring back at them, but not quite matching their movements, as if another entity stood behind them, mimicking their actions. Another recounted seeing a woman in traditional Pueblo attire standing at the foot of their bed, her hollow eyes boring into theirs before vanishing without a sound. The Luna Mansion, shadows of love and loss nestled in the quaint town of Los Lunas, New Mexico. The Luna Mansion stands as a testament to the grandeur of territorial aristocracy and the enduring power of love and grief that transcends lifetimes. Originally built in 1881 as a private residence for Don Solomon Luna, a prominent cattle baron and politician, the mansion exudes an air of opulence that masks the sorrowful tragedies hidden within its walls. Over the decades, it has transformed from a family estate into a restaurant and event venue, yet its haunted legacy remains intact, drawing curious visitors eager to glimpse the spectral figures who refuse to leave. At the heart of the Luna Mansion's haunting is the tragic love story of Don Solomon Luna and his wife, Dolores. Described as inseparable during their lifetime, the couple shared a bond so profound that it seemed destined to endure beyond death. However, fate intervened cruelly when Dolores succumbed to illness in 1905, leaving Don Solomon devastated. Historical accounts paint him as a broken man, rarely seen outside his study except to tend to his vast cattle empire. Locals whispered that he spent hours speaking to an empty chair in the parlor, convinced Dolores's spirit remained close by. Following his own death in 1912, rumors spread that the couple's undying devotion had manifested in spectral form, with sightings of two figures walking hand in hand through the mansion's rose garden. Guests dining at the Luna Mansion often recount eerie encounters linked to the Luna couple's restless spirits. Many describe hearing soft murmurs emanating from the parlor, as though fragments of intimate conversations drift through time. Others claim to feel an inexplicable warmth enveloping them as they pass through certain rooms, accompanied by the faint scent of roses, a nod to Dolores's favorite flower. One particularly chilling account comes from a server who swore they saw a man in formal attire standing near the fireplace, his expression one of quiet longing, before dissolving into mist. Adding to the mansion's spectral roster is the spirit of a young girl believed to be Rosita, the daughter of Don Solomon and Dolores. Described as playful yet mischievous, Rosita reportedly died in a riding accident at the age of 8. Her presence is said to linger in the mansion's upper floors, particularly in what was once her nursery. Patrons attending events in the space often describe hearing faint giggling and the sound of tiny footsteps running across the hardwood floors. On more than one occasion, objects have mysteriously moved or disappeared entirely, only to reappear days later in unexpected locations. Some claim to see a small silhouette darting down hallways, clad in a flowing white dress, before vanishing into thin air. The mansion's basement, once used for storage and wine cellars, is another focal point of paranormal activity. Employees tasked with restocking supplies describe hearing chains rattling and heavy footsteps echoing through the cavernous space, though no one else is present. Some claim to see shadowy figures dragging invisible loads, their movements jerky and unnatural. A particularly disturbing incident involved a maintenance worker who swore he felt cold metal cuffs snap around his wrists, pulling him backward toward the darkness before releasing him abruptly. Overnight visitors to the Luna Mansion frequently recount bizarre experiences that defy logical explanation. Lights flicker unpredictably, especially in hallways leading to the older sections of the building. Doors slam shut on their own, and the scent of cigar smoke wafts through the air despite the establishment's strict no-smoking policy. One guest described waking up to find their reflection in the mirror staring back at them, but not quite matching their movements, as if another entity stood behind them, mimicking their actions. Another recounted seeing a man in a dusty miner's outfit standing at the foot of her bed, his hollow eyes boring into hers before vanishing without a sound. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous expeditions within the mansion's walls, capturing compelling evidence of its supernatural inhabitants. Thermal imaging cameras reveal cold spots concentrated in specific areas, including the parlor and the nursery. Electromagnetic field, EMF, meters register unusual spikes, particularly near antique furniture pieces believed to have belonged to the original owners. Perhaps the most unsettling discovery came during a live investigation broadcast online. Viewers watching the feed spotted a translucent figure darting across the screen in real time, prompting widespread speculation about the nature of the entities haunting the Luna Mansion. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, the Luna Mansion remains a popular destination for history enthusiasts and thrill-seekers alike. Its rich tapestry of human drama, interwoven with love, loss, and resilience, creates an atmosphere unlike any other. For those brave enough to spend the night, the opportunity to encounter Don Solomon, Dolores, or Rosita adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Yet, as each new visitor crosses its threshold, they must decide whether they are ready to face the echoes of love and loss, or risk becoming another chapter in the mansion's haunted chronicle. Patterns across New Mexico's haunted places. As we delve deeper into the haunted histories of New Mexico's most infamous locations, striking similarities emerge, weaving a thread of eerie consistency through their disparate tales. These patterns are not merely coincidental, rather, they underscore universal themes of human emotion, unresolved trauma, and the enduring power of memory. From the spectral soldiers of Fort Stanton to the artistic apparitions of La Posada de Santa Fe, these sites share a commonality that transcends geography and era, binding them together in a spectral sisterhood of sorrow and suspense. One recurring motif is the concept of unfinished business. Whether it's the victims of tuberculosis at Fort Stanton, the tormented artists of La Posada, or the devoted lovers of the Luna Mansion, these spirits seem tethered to the earthly realm by grievances left unaddressed. Their presence manifests as restless energy, often communicated through auditory phenomena, cries, whispers, or disembodied voices, that serve as pleas for acknowledgement or closure. This theme resonates across cultures and belief systems, reflecting humanity's innate need to resolve conflict and seek peace, even in death. Another shared characteristic is the role of architecture in amplifying paranormal activity. Historic sites like St. James Hotel, Fort Stanton, and the Luna Mansion, with their labyrinthine corridors, thick walls, and hidden alcoves, create environments conducive to isolating individuals and heightening fear. These structural elements act as metaphors for the psychological barriers erected by those who suffered within their confines, trapping emotions such as anger, despair, and regret. It's no coincidence that many reported hauntings occur in spaces imbued with emotional significance: bedrooms where relationships ended, saloons where violence erupted, or basements where secrets were buried. Lighting and sensory manipulation also feature prominently in these narratives. Flickering lights, sudden temperature drops, and inexplicable odors are staples of ghostly encounters, designed to disorient and unsettle. Such phenomena strip away the comfort of familiarity, forcing visitors to confront the unknown. The use of mirrors, a recurring element in stories from La Posada and the Luna Mansion, adds another layer of psychological tension, as reflections distort perception and blur the boundary between self and other. This interplay of light and shadow becomes a tool wielded by unseen forces, creating moments of visceral terror that linger long after the initial shock subsides. Finally, the prevalence of historical context cannot be overstated. Each haunted site's narrative is deeply rooted in its unique past, shaped by the socio-cultural milieu of its time. The Wild West brutality embedded in St. James Hotel contrasts sharply with the artistic passions immortalized at La Posada, yet both tap into broader archetypes of ambition, betrayal, and mortality. By drawing on these universal motifs, New Mexico's haunted places transform from mere buildings into living repositories of collective memory, inviting us to peer into the abyss of our shared humanity. Thus, while each establishment boasts its own distinct flavor of fright, the underlying threads connecting them reveal a tapestry rich with meaning. These patterns remind us that the supernatural is not so much about the entities themselves but the stories they tell, the echoes of lives interrupted, passions extinguished, and truths obscured. As we continue to explore these haunted locales, we find ourselves grappling not only with the specters of the past but with the timeless questions they raise about life, death, and everything in between. Why do haunted places continue to captivate us? At their core, these spectral sanctuaries serve as portals to our deepest fears and curiosities, offering a tantalizing glimpse into realms beyond comprehension. They embody the duality of human existence, our simultaneous yearning for connection and our dread of isolation. Within their walls, the past refuses to remain silent, speaking through creaking floorboards, flickering lights, and disembodied whispers. These phenomena challenge our understanding of reality, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth that some mysteries may never be solved. Dear reader, as we bring this journey through New Mexico's most haunted places to a close, I hope you've felt the same spine-tingling allure that has drawn countless souls to these spectral sanctuaries. These stories are more than just campfire tales or urban legends. They are fragments of history, stitched together by human emotion, tragedy, and the unrelenting passage of time. Each creaking floorboard, each whispered name, and each fleeting shadow serves as a reminder that the past is never truly gone. It lingers, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. But why stop here? If these accounts have stirred something within you, a spark of curiosity, a shiver of excitement, I urge you to take the next step. Visit one of these haunted places yourself. Walk the same halls where spirits are said to roam, sleep in the rooms where history's echoes reverberate, and let the unknown brush against your senses. Whether you're a skeptic seeking proof or a believer eager to commune with the other side, these establishments offer an unparalleled opportunity to confront the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil. And when you return, share your story. Did you feel the icy touch of a ghostly hand? Hear the faint strains of music in an empty corridor? Or perhaps nothing happened at all, but isn't that silence just as intriguing? Your experiences add to the rich tapestry of lore surrounding these haunted places, ensuring their legacies endure for generations to come. Until then, keep your lanterns lit and your courage steady. The spirits are waiting.